let's go back to the rest of my script here, and we are going to cover this in a little more detail. So mission and vision are your strategy. Those feed into the strategy. Reliability and maintenance, is that a strategy? Under that definition, no. And you know, people's egos want it to be, because that means that you have more control over the overreaching thing. No, reliability and maintenance is tactical. Okay. And I think of it like this. Be perfectly honest, it's one of the reasons I like reliability and maintenance. Think of it as the SEALs, the Navy SEALs of the corporation, right? So there's a whole bunch of departments that all feed into the overall strategy. So let's take a look at this from an actual sea level, 50,000 foot looking into an organization, instead of just, you know, what we want to see, which we're locked into a little bit of a box being involved in reliability and maintenance. We're not part of the overall overreaching 50,000 foot level. It's part of the reason why a lot of us have suggested over time that there is a chief reliability officer, right? I think, as a matter of fact, it was introduced in this book. So that means, the feeding in. Why? Because I've been brought in a number of times. Even when I was chair of SMRP at one point, I was asked to visit a company, corporate location, for a large international food company, to meet with some representatives from the C-suite along with the reliability staff, because the C-suite had been told by a vendor that they should be putting wireless systems on all these systems in the plant. And the reliability folks are going, but those aren't where the problems are. And so corporate said, but these people from the outside said that's where our problems are. Well, what information do they have? Well, stuff from the rest of industry. Well, how does that fit our specific needs? Basically, that discussion had never occurred. It was a tactical discussion, and what happened is the C-suite stepped out of their strategic role and made tactical decisions that should have been left to the tacticians, the experts, for how to accomplish what corporate wanted. So let's get into it. So strategy is the company's decision about what winning means and what conditions must exist for winning to be inevitable. They're looking outwards. And if you're maintenance and you're saying the C-suite must understand our stuff going on inside, if the C-suite has to look backwards into the corporation, they're no longer strategic and they're not doing their job. And if you force that situation, you're not going to have a job. The company won't exist, because if you're not looking outwards, you're not going to survive. Okay, so it's expressed through mission, vision, business model, risk posture, and where the organization chooses to compete. Outward looking stuff. So a company decides its mission is uninterrupted customer delivery, and its vision is industry leading uptime and responsiveness, meaning it can respond to a customer like that, right? That means a company is strategically choosing reliability as a market weapon, not as a maintenance project. So when they start looking at that, then reliability comes into play. And if you think reliability is strategic, you miss the plot. And what ends up happening is you're trying to be strategic. The organization wants you to be tactical, and that's where everything falls apart. So why don't you get respect in an organization? Because you're acting way above your station. And we can be offended and everything we want, but I'm sorry, we're human beings, and this is the way that we're shaped. Okay? The class structure exists. I don't care what you say. It exists. It's how politics is being run. It's how people see people and everything else. We can deny it all we want, but it's real. And once we accept what's real, then we have an opportunity. So let's talk about the tactical standpoint from a corporate 50,000 foot level. Tactics are the internal mechanism that makes strategy real under real world constraints. They convert strategic intent into repeatable outcomes using operational action, discipline, and execution. So the business example is basically if strategy is delivering certainty, then reliability engineering, maintenance execution, spare parts governance, and defect elimination, okay, are the tactical systems that prevent the business from breaking its promise. So basically, we have to think from the standpoint of R&M is not strategy. Reliability and maintenance is not strategy. It's how strategy survives that contact with reality. It's basically the implementation part. Okay? From the executive level, reliability and maintenance exist to protect the company's ability to execute its strategy. Translating from Sun Tzu, it means strategy chooses the ground. Here's where we are, where we want to be. Tactics keeps you from losing it. Tactics helps you get it, right? What must be true as a company from a strategic standpoint is not we will do CBM or we will implement PDM. That is low-level stuff. Strategy is what outcomes the company must deliver, what risks the company refuses to accept, what the company is willing to invest to maintain competitive, and what kind of performance consistency defines its brand. Okay? So if you say wheels up, like say Southwest, wheels up, that means that your strategy is wheels up. So, that's your statement. The practice, the tactical part is how do you frame the reliability and maintenance so that you're 90% in the air and not falling out of the sky or having wheels bend and stuff like that. So you have to have a solid program in order to do it. The tactical part. So example from a strategic level, we win by being the most dependable supplier. We win by being the lowest cost to serve. We win by guaranteeing quality and repeatability. And we win by speed of response and short lead times. Those are not maintenance statements. They're the corporate identity in action, right? So basically, when you see those statements, that drives every department in the company, including reliability and maintenance. So reliability and maintenance is one part of the puzzle that feeds in to accomplish that mission and vision. Okay, so we are going to do this. And if you want to know what it is, go and look at the mission and vision. That is what corporate leadership has decided. How does R&M map into that?